President William Ruto has been humiliated badly from his home turf, Emurwa Dikirr constituency that was thought to be in William Ruto's home turf, and many people expected to embrace William Ruto's UDA party. It has now embarrassed him greatly, humiliated him by embracing Rigathi Gachagwa's DCP party. Today was the election day on 14th May 2026, and we had 5 contenders. However, it was narrowed down to 2 people who are contending. We have the DCP's Vincent Rotich and also UDA's David Kibet, who is known as Dolalin, who is popularly known as Dolalin. It was a very tough competition and campaign between the two, and basically it's gonna indicate that we between DCP party and UDA party, which one dominates the region. But the people of Emurwa Dikirr, it seems that they had made their minds that they are not going to support UDA party. And today, the way the people emerged, the way the people came out to vote, it gave a clear indication and sent a very strong statement to William Ruto, who is now in total panic together with the people around him who have been, rooting for Dolalin to win the election in Emurwa Dikirr. There are 2 options. If William Ruto wins Emurwa Dikirr constituency elections, it means that DCP has no chance of winning any seat in Rift Valley. But if Rigathi Gachagwa wins that election, it sends a bad statement in Kenyan politics that William Ruto is hated, in fact, including his home turf. And that is what William Ruto has been fighting so much. And today, in as much as the election was smooth, in some areas it wasn't smooth. Some goons sponsored, sponsored by William Ruto or the UDA party, attacked DCP agents. They were attacked so bad. They sustained a lot of bad injuries, and this tells you that UDA team has panicked.
There are only 2 disruptions that happened in the early morning. 2 of the stations, the polling stations, the Kiribet polling station and the Shelamay polling station within Kapsasian ward. There was some disruption within the 2 stations. But later on, after the police were called, they came quickly and the situation was restored and voting continued. In one of the scenarios, on the way, along the road towards the Shelamay polling station, there was a commotion. 2 young voters picked a fight, and one of them was armed with a Maasai sword. He withdrew the sword, and in the commotion, he was injured with his own sword. And also, the other one also was injured, and people were there. They were separated.
From the campaigns which were being, conducted at night, the way Vincent Rotich was doing his campaigns, it gave a clear indication that already the people of Emurwa Dikirr had made their decision. In fact, Vincent Rotich had no money for campaign. And he told the people of Emurwa Dikirr, telling them that he had no funds to bribe them the way Dolalin of UDA was doing. He had no enough money to print a lot of merchandise for the people of Emurwa Dikirr, the same way UDA was doing. But the people of Emurwa Dikirr, because they had made their decisions, they came out the following day wearing uhuru bags on their heads in support of Vincent Rotich, and that tells you that mambo imekuwa magumu pale. In fact, William Ruto had a plan of sending the Interior Cabinet Secretary Murkomen to that region on Tuesday after the campaigns had been closed. But the people had raised a lot of concerns, telling William Ruto to stop intimidating the people. And therefore, because the ground became so hot, Murkomen never availed himself to campaign for Dolalin indirectly. You know, they had a plan whereby Murkomen would go and call chiefs, assistant chiefs, Nyumba Kumi to try and talk to them. But the main intention was, the election that was today. So DCP agents were attacked today, and according to the police commander Narok County, Patrick Lobolia, indicated that 4 people were badly injured. In as much as the police were called and they contained the situation, whereby some had claimed that they were being prevented from voting. And remember, the strategy that was being employed here is that there are those regions, there are those wards that were known to be pro DCP so much. So they started intimidating those regions so that the people do not come out to vote for DCP, their candidate Vincent Rotich. And I'm gonna tell you a few things here today. William Ruto is embarrassed, he's humiliated, and that is why they were employing 2 strategies. Number 1, intimidation. The number of police officers who were deployed in Emurwa Dikirr as from date 12, 13, 14. There were a lot of security agencies, a lot of police officers who were, let me use the word poured. They were poured, walimwagwa pale Emurwa Dikirr. The main intention was to intimidate the people from voting. If the people don't vote, that means the margin between DCP party and UDA party will be very, very small. So rigging such an election is very easier. Yeah. So the intimidation was to make the people so fearful. Yeah, it was to make them not come out to vote so that it becomes so easy to rig in UDA's candidate. Yeah. Number 2, William Ruto and his people and his allies, in fact, wanted to stamp authority in Emurwa Dikirr, to tell people that he is still in authority and he controls the Rift Valley votes. But however, this one, I don't know whether it is working today. I don't know whether it will work, because the people of Emurwa Dikirr had already made a decision. And there is a video I'm going to share with you. I want you to watch it first before I do a further analysis.
Watu wa Transmara, Emurwa Dikirr, leo tuko pamoja. Leo ni kulinda kura yetu. Hakuna siku kura yetu itaenda kwa hii serikali. Anyway, hatujawahi kuwa kwa serikali yote. Tulikuwa kwa Jubilee, tulikuwa kwa KANU. Sisi kama Emurwa Dikirr hatujawahi kuwa kwa serikali nyingine, serikali ndani. Lakini hao watu wanatafukuza. Kwani sisi ni nani? Emurwa Dikirr, DCP. Tumeona tumefanya campaign mpaka saa 7 ya usiku. Mpaka wamama wetu wanatoka saa 7 ya usiku kufanya campaign. Unafikiria mama anacheka? Mama amefukuzwa kwake, Angatabarigwe. Amefukuzwa kwao Mao. Alafu sasa wanataka kuja tumpigie kura. Kwa nini? Kipsigis tumekataa. Hiyo kura tutalinda kutoka asubuhi mpaka jioni. Nimenunua miraa na kila kitu. Saa hii in the next 4-5 hours niko hapa.
Now, that is a video of a resident of Emurwa Dikirr. There are many people, there are many videos, but I'm not gonna play them all. But they are giving an indication. They are giving a very bold statement that in as much as the state has its state machinery, it has the police, the forces, the people themselves of Emurwa Dikirr, they are going to protect the votes of DCP. That is according to some of the residents in Emurwa Dikirr. And you heard him say he's going to prepare so that after 6 p.m. he's going to camp at the tallying center so that they make sure, him and others, they make sure that there is no, rigging, hakuna ukora itaingia, because they feel that there is a plan by UDA perhaps to rig these elections so that to stamp authority and to make William Ruto look good, so that the people in Kenya do not think that he's hated from his region, from his home turf. Yeah, I don't know, but we are waiting to see. But what is clear right now is that the DCP is still ahead of UDA and is a pure embarrassment to William Ruto. Just to inform you, in Emurwa Dikirr, there are 94 polling stations with 44,353 registered voters, and the IEBC Kenya had cleared 5 political party-sponsored candidates for the by-election. And the constituency tallying center will be at Emurwa Dikirr Technical Training Institute, and this is where the people, the residents of Emurwa Dikirr, have promised their vote that they are going to camp there to make sure the votes of Vincent Rotich of DCP are well protected. And polling stations, they were opened at 5 or at 6 a.m. and they were supposed to be closed at 5 p.m., which happened, and the voting was smooth, except when the Ruto-sponsored goons tried to attack agents of DCP party. I don't know what you think. I know you have your comment too. You have your opinion. Write your opinion down there in the comment section. We shall talk about it. Perhaps it can form a basis of whatever we're going to talk about in the next video. So if you are new here, consider subscribing, liking, and sharing our content. Hit the notification bell so that you can be receiving notifications each and every time we bring you a new content.